Hey guys, my name is Nov. As most of you probably already know, the January update for Lost Ark has just dropped last night, and that was about 8 hours ago. And well, it's quite some news, to say the least. I want to keep this video as short as possible, so I'm not going to be going over like everything at the beginning. I will go over everything towards the end of the video, but first I want to give my thoughts about it, as someone who has at this point played this game for almost a year. So I think I actually have a pretty decent view on this whole thing, because well, this is quite massive for us in the West actually. So yeah, I will just tell you guys what I think about this. Okay, so first of all, the major thing about this whole article is basically this part. So with Yorn and Phaeton being available, this basically means that we are getting tier 2 in its entirety as soon as the game launches, which is it actually blew my mind, to be honest. So I didn't expect this at all, but yeah, here we are. Alongside tier 2, we're also getting a small part of tier 3 actually, like up to the first 3 Chaos Dungeons, I believe. Yeah, Chaos Dungeon stage 3. I'm not sure what item level this should be, but I think it's pretty much right before Southburn, which should be 1340, I believe. 1340 item level. So we just barely don't have like Argos and Voltan, which are the first Abyssal raid and the first Legion raid in the game, if you don't count Mystic and Kaiser. And we also have the combat level cap increased to 60, which is quite insane. You can start working on level 60 pretty early, which is actually a passive grind, so you don't need to work on it actively too much. But yeah, it's just, we will talk about this later. The main thing is that we are getting tier 2 and a limited amount of tier 3 contents. And well, you could say that this is bad for the game, and you could also say that it's good. And I'm here to talk about my opinion on it, so don't take what I say as facts or whatever. This is just what I think about this for our version of the game. Okay, so I think that the major concern about this whole thing is people thinking that everyone is going to be rushing to tier 3, which is actually true. Like, most of the people who have played the game before are probably going to be rushing to tier 3 on one character and not going to be doing more ults. So everyone is probably going to be doing all the tier 1 and tier 2 content pretty much 1 or 2 times, and they will most likely have enough upgrade mats to go to the next stage of Abyssal dungeons and Chaos dungeons and whatnot. So most likely you will have to do every content in tier 1 and tier 2 just so you get all the gold, all the upgrade mats and everything that you need to progress through the actual game. And a lot of people think that with this, people who don't spend their entire day playing the game won't be able to find parties for tier 1 and tier 2 content, which I don't think is going to be the case. Like, you need to consider this. Lost Ark is going to be a free-to-play game, and that means everyone who has a Steam account can log into the game and start playing whenever they want. I think that looking at the past of Lost Ark, most of the times it wasn't very popular from the beginning, at least compared to their current states. Well, this might actually only be true for Korea, but yeah, okay, let's not get sidetracked right now. What I'm trying to say is that there will always be new players coming in, and there will always be people going on different paces, so tier 1 and tier 2 content should not be hard to find parties for, in my opinion. There will always be people going a little slower than you. There will always be people who just started playing the game and they looked up guides, so they want to progress through the game fast. And they will still need to go through tier 1 and tier 2, and they will also need a party to complete the content, so I don't think there's gonna be a problem here. There was also something somewhere around here. Yeah, this part. So yeah, in the beta we had, well, quite insane rates for upgrading, and we didn't need like a whole lot of upgrade materials. And we also got an insane amount of upgrade mats from islands, which was just quite insane. Like, you could just do which were they, like, you did, well, basically you just did the Panda Island and you were able to go almost straight to Rohandel just with those upgrade mats. You only needed to do, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 islands to have enough upgrade mats to actually go to 460 item level, which is quite insane actually. So looking at that, they made a decision to actually adjust the progress. So they hopefully are going to be lowering the upgrade mat that the islands give, and you will actually have to like go through all the content in tier 1 and tier 2 to actually be able to progress to tier 3. So they never said that they are not going to include every catch-up mechanic, so we should expect some things to be there, but according to Sainton, who apparently has some insider information, the upgrade rates, the improved upgrade rates to plus 15 being 100% and lower upgrade mat costs are not there, that are currently available on Russia and Korea. So you still need to pay every upgrade mat to progress through each tier. You don't have 100% success rates up to plus 15, only up to like plus 6 I believe, which is the basic value. So I think that this is actually going to be a decent pace to progress through tier 1 and tier 2 for everyone. If you are absolutely new to the game, I don't think you should be stressing on getting to tier 3 as fast as possible, because we will still have, I believe, months of playtime. At least like, I don't know, 2 or 2.5 months before we actually get like more tier 3 content. At least I hope so, because I want to have at least a few characters in tier 3 before we actually get like, I don't know, Viakis and Satan the clown raid, because I honestly have no idea what character I want to main, and this is the next topic that I wanted to talk about, because well, with this it actually matters a little more, well, a lot more, what character or what class you pick as your main. Still, I don't think you should be stressing too much over this. From the launch, you should just honestly pick something that looks nice, that looks like you're going to have fun with playing it, whatever it might be. If you think that Sorceress looks good and you might enjoy playing it, give it a go, level it to 50, do some endgame content on it, and you should probably see how it plays mostly, but the actual feel of the character will only be revealed once you get your class engravings and get some actual proper stats going. Like for example, if you're playing Ignition Sorceress, you want to get a lot of specialty stat to deal actually good damage, but of course there are different playstyles, and in order to actually decide what you want to play, you have to get the character to endgame. So chances are that your first class is not going to be what you will end up maining in the long run. And with this in mind, you can also just level a class that you will later basically turn into an old character, because if you want to be really sweaty and you want to progress through tier 3 efficiently, you will want to have at least 3 or 4 characters, but at most up to 6, because I believe that we will have the weekly gold cap of being able to get gold from content on up to 6 characters. And that will only be in place because of what happened in Korea, which is basically inflation. Pretty much. They just want to prevent it from happening on our server, so they don't need to make any extreme decisions on the go to fix any problems. Like, look at it this way. This was a decision from Smilegate and Amazon Games together, and this was what they thought was best for the game and for us. And through this 1 year of playing Lost Ark, and after watching 2 Loa-on events, which was, my first Loa-on was last summer, the Loa-on mini event, and the second one was last December, the actual Loa-on event. I've actually learned to trust and appreciate Smilegate as a developer, and I really believe that they are not after money, and they actually want us to have the best experience possible with the game. And starting off, Lost Ark was actually quite a miserable game. It was terrible when it got launched. It didn't see much success, but Smilegate kept developing the game in a way that players actually could enjoy the game, and it slowly turned into the Lost Ark that it currently is today, which so many players, not just in Korea but all around the world, really appreciate and just love playing, because it's a fucking amazing game, honestly. And after all the changes that they made, I have learned to appreciate their judgment and respect every decision they make. So I think that this decision is also the best for the game. At least that's what the director of Lost Ark and Smilegate as a whole thought, and I respect their choice. Smilegate, being the developer team that they are, has allowed Lost Ark to be relevant for years now in Korea, and it is currently the most played MMO in Korea. just till last December when they decided to remove the blue crystal cost at the end of Abyssal raid and Abyssal dungeons and Legion raids for more loot, and they added gold as the cost instead of blue crystals, which in itself led to a minus 17% of revenue for the Smilegate devs. That in the end ended up increasing the player base by, I believe, above 500% of their current player base, which is just absolutely insane. And these are the kind of decisions that make this game what it is, and they are the reason why the player base of Lost Ark appreciates Smilegate so much, and this is why I respect every decision they make, and I think that they really want us to actually enjoy the game and not just be a cash grab as some people might think. Alright, so my objective take on this is this. You will still have to go through tier 1 and tier 2 content, and you can do it on your own pace because there will be a lot of players going on different paces, and we, who are rushing to tier 3, are not going to be the actual majority of the players. So I think if anyone is going to be struggling with finding a party, it's going to be us who are like at the middle of tier 2 by the end of, I don't know, the first week. Hopefully that's not the case. But yeah, that was actually a bit exaggerating, but the point is that we who are rushing, we are going to be the minority, in my opinion, and most of the players are actually going to be going with a casual pace, so you don't need to worry about not being able to find a party or anything like that. That's just what I think, of course. You should just go with your own pace, try out different classes, see what you like. Once you have a class that you actually enjoy, go to all the islands, get all the upgrade mats, get all the content done, do everything that you want, just go everywhere, experience everything, because this game is absolutely immense and gorgeous. So you should just take your time experiencing it and appreciate everything that you can, because there's just so much to do in this game, and I guarantee that you will love it. And on the other hand, getting to tier 3 is most likely not going to take too much time. Like, I think if you're like going at a decent pace, you should be able to get to tier 3 in, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 months. That's just what I think, but of course it could be different from player to player, and it also depends on how many upgrade mats we get and all that other stuff, so it's hard to tell how much time it's actually going to take. But the major thing is that the actual grind in Lost Ark begins after tier 3, so I think that the best thing about this is that you can go through tier 1 and tier 2 with whatever pace you want to, and the game is not going to force you to pointlessly grind in tier 1 for a very low amount of gold and pointlessly grind in tier 2 for very not so good amounts of gold and all the other gear that you are going to be pretty much tossing into the trash can once you get to tier 3, because that is going to be the case. And you can actually make your way to tier 3 without having to do pointless grinds, and you can actually start working on gear and other stuff that you are going to be using for a long while. So in short terms, you could consider this bad, because some of the tier 1 and tier 2 content you might end up skipping, but at least you don't have to do pointless grinding. This way, everything you do is actually going to have a meaning in the long run. This was my objective take on this. Alright, and with that, let's actually go through everything in this article. I think I said everything that I wanted. Okay, so let's go through step by step with everything here. I'm not going to be reading things up. The new features, this is just everything we talked about up until this point. Tier 2 and tier 3 and everything. We have Papunica, we don't have Southburn. We have the third stage of Chaos Dungeons, which hopefully should be 1340 as a soft cap, I believe, in terms of item level. So we don't have Southburn, we don't have Volton, and we also don't have Argos, which is the Abyssal raid, and Volton being the Legion raid. We have level 60 as a cap. That's really nice. This means that you can get to level 60 before the rest of tier 3 is available, and you can actually get level 11 and level 12 on your abilities, and additional tier 3 content will be added to the game post-launch. They are basically balancing the game around tier 3, which is I just told you that I think it's good, but it has its downsides. We also have Steam achievements, which is this is something I'm actually excited about. I really like this kind of stuff, and I hope that these achievements will include stuff like Beast Roar and all the really cool achievements in the game, because there are some really cool ones. We also have character voice selection. This is also really nice, because this is something that, well, I'm not sure when it was added to the game, but it's only been added to Russia very recently, I believe. I don't know, I haven't been playing too much in the last few months. I've been savoring my excitement for the game, so I can hardly contain myself at this point. But yeah, so the character voices are really nice. It's just a nice feature that makes the gameplay even more enjoyable if you like listening to your character. Based on player feedback, we also have Korean voiceover DLC options. This is something that you can add to your game from your Steam library. Like if you go to where is Lost Ark? You go to the store and it should be somewhere around here. It's not currently here, but it's going to be here in the content for this game part. You will be able to add a free DLC to your game, which is going to pretty much add a Korean voiceover to the game, and hopefully this will include other languages in the future, because for example in the Japanese voiceover there are a fair few anime voice actors voicing some characters in the game, which is something really nice for me, and I hope we will also have that available. But the Korean voice is also pretty amazing, but I also think that at first I'm going to be trying the English voices, because Amazon put a lot of effort into making it, and I want to see if I enjoy playing with it or not, but I think I will. Some early game cutscenes are skippable. This is really nice for me. I think that it's good, because if you have played the game already, I've done leveling over 10 times at this point, and I just want to be able to skip everything. I don't want to watch any cutscenes, and with this I only have to watch like cutscenes of very important pieces of the story, and I can just skip the rest and keep going with leveling. And if you want to, of course, you can just watch the cutscenes. It's nice because you have an option. Balance tweaks for pacing of the game, another huge point of feedback. Yeah, so gearing was not challenging enough. This one, like these 3 lines or this part of the article, actually makes me believe that they wanted, like they considered the islands giving so many upgrade mats and all the engraving books being a part of the actual game. I'm not sure about this, but hopefully they will adjust it, because it was just genuinely broken. You didn't have to do any of the tier 1 content. You could just do 3 island quests and you would have all the upgrade mats you needed to get to tier 2, or at least to like 460, and that's pretty much the end of tier 1. Alright, we also have some frequently asked questions. I don't think I want to talk about these in a video like this. Yeah, so if you don't know, you can have more founder packs. Like actually every single founder pack you can buy once for your account, and you will have everything that it contains. Like you of course only get the head start ones, so you only have 3 days of head start. Even if you buy all the packs, you get 4 different cat pets, you get all the royal crystals, you get crystalline auras 4 times 30 days if you buy all the packs. But I wanted to buy a platinum and a gold pack, but I only got the platinum actually, because I currently can't really afford to spend too much on video games, so I had to settle with this one unfortunately. But this one I already got like 6 months ago, I think, or 5 months ago, I'm not sure. You also get the title, which is the exact same title for each tier, so you don't get a platinum title and a gold title and a silver and blah, blah. You just get 1 title and that's it. You get all these supply crates, which are different for each tier. You also get 2 skins if you buy the gold and platinum packs, 2 Northern Lawmaker skins. You get 2 additional character slots and the rest. Everything you get from the founders packs you get to your basically auction house storage, I believe, or that little storage that you can access from any of your characters. So you are not going to be forced to use whatever you get on your first character. You can just open the chests on whatever character you want, and that character will get the loot from the chest, including the cosmetics. Gameplay questions, you can change the font. Okay, these are not too much. And yeah, that's pretty much it. They also promised that we will have another article like this next week, which will include more stuff like the launch server list, so we will know exactly what servers we will have, information about weekly reset times, which I believe in every case, like on all servers, it is Wednesday, and Wednesday in the morning. So once Wednesday hits, you can do all the weekly content again, but this might mean that we will have a different time of the day being the reset, but I guess we will have to see next week. And we will also have the exact server open and pre-download times and even more. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next updates. We might get more details in terms of like game patches, what upgrade maps we will get, what sort of catch-up mechanics will be included for our version, and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope my goal with this video was to just calm everyone down and tell you that you don't have to rush to the end game. Even with tier 3 available, you can go at your own pace. And a lot of people will do that. Like, most of the people who will play this game are not actually watching guides, are not following all the Lost Ark content creators and all that. They just want to play the game, and they will do it at their own pace. And once they are confused, they will start looking at guides and stuff like that. So yeah, looking at this as a content creator, well, this is quite overwhelming. So I think I will do everything that I planned to do in like the next 2 weeks. Before the launch, I have a few more guides that I wanted to make before the launch, and after that I will just adjust to these changes and we will see from there. One thing I know I want to do is stream on Twitch. I will 100% stream my first day of playing Lost Ark. So if you want to see it, come over to Twitch, follow me there, and let's chill out and play Lost Ark together. I just can't wait for it. It's gonna be so nice finally being able to play the game. And yeah, I've talked about some other stuff, like having a weekly recap of my progression in Lost Ark on YouTube. So in just one 10 to 15 minutes long video, I will just talk about what I've done in the last week, and it's just going to be like, I don't know, a podcast with some gameplay or something like that. I will also do some, well, I plan on doing a walkthrough for each and every abyssal dungeon, but that will depend on what sort of catch-up mechanics we have and all that, because I don't want to spend time on making content that's not actually useful for everyone, you know. So I want to focus on what's actually good for you guys and what you actually want to see, instead of just doing meaningless stuff. So if you have any feedback, if you know what you want to see, please do tell me in the comments below. Of course, I read every single comment I get and I react to as many as I can. And you guys have been really nice in the past few weeks, so I really appreciate every single one of you, and it just warms my heart to see this game becoming a huge success in the West, and also you guys being so nice to me, so thank you very much. If you liked the video, please give it a like, and also don't forget to subscribe for more Lost Ark content. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.